Welcome to the Oracle section. Well, let's take a look at our energies here. Got a spectral Skywalker, spectral Will Bridger, again spectral Skywalker, spectral Knight, and electric Star. Well, very appropriately, we start with the Will Bridger. The Will Bridger and the Skywalker, to me, are very similar signs. They both represent kind of like the bridging of worlds. One, in some way, is like the Will Bridger is right point A to point B, going from one place to another, the bridging of worlds, making a bridge between 2 points. And the Skywalker is like levels of consciousness or different levels of space, internal, external, lower, higher, density, space, density, time, density, earth, density, sky, these kind of things. And so they have this interesting bridging journey between areas. And so what I feel the aspect of the Will Bridger really brings to us today is it's like, what are we allowing to transform? What are we allowing to die? And so it's almost like a double die, because we have the spectral tone, which is all about the releasing and liberating. And then we have the Will Bridger, which is all about that death. It's all about that natural equalization and the opportunity or space that happens once a thing that was there dissolves and is no longer inhabiting that place. And so that also really speaks to the Skywalker's spatialness, right? Not only are we exploring space and becoming wakeful, the process of that is helped out by the spectral Will Bridger, or the liberating death. That one feels simple and clear to me. And then obviously we're going to the guiding power, which is the Skywalker that we've talked pretty extensively about so far. And the liberating death is coupled here by the liberating journey. This is the journey of liberation. This is the space of liberation, where we're going through that initiation to take a look at what no longer really serves us and how we can deeply attune to those aspects we want to make part of our sustainability. What some of you may call your mastery, what may want to call the perfection of your practice, your lineage, however you want to see it. I feel that's deeply represented here by the Skywalker tone, the Skywalker seal and spectral tone. The challenging power energy today is kind of cool, because we have the spectral Knight. And the magnetic Knight, which is we're in the wave spell of the Knight, and so that would be the magnetic Knight, has an identical oracle as the spectral Knight would have if it were being seen in light of its own oracle. It would be guided by its own power doubled, and it would have the same challenging, hidden, and helping powers. And so I find this is unique because we're coming to the end of this wave spell. And so we get to kind of tag in to the energy of the wave spell itself and say, okay, we're here in a wave spell that represents dreams, represents shadow, abundance, right? And that shadow is like a space. And so we're diving into that space, as we've been doing here for the last 11 days, with the energy of the Skywalker, ready to bridge those worlds with the help of the Will Bridger, a lot of this deep Skywalker energy, so we can kind of take a look at our shadows, liberate ourselves from them, and allow ourselves to move upward in many senses of the word. We're taking the real gems that have been hiding in the darkness, that has been nurturing under the water, the dark places that help us heal and come out of the intense light, which can be sometimes reflected as expectation or heavy movement or just too much interface, that someone might need a still dark place to go and just die to the world for a while and recharge, and then one is eventually reborn as an aspect of themselves, calms or heals or gains nurturing and health. And so in this respect, we have the Knight here also allowing us to kind of tap back into the main frequency that was really present for us during this wave spell, and say, okay, what are the last things that I can take responsibility for and help dissolve, so that Skywalker energy can really be the catalyst that it wants to be, and bring that energy to where we become the wizard, that we have that specialized skill set or that more attuned energy that's in whatever living conduits of embodiment that this all means and expresses for us. Okay, and then going into the electric star, I find this is really nice because there's a lot of kind of journey, let go, facing. There's a lot of this very initiatory. The thing I like about the star, as it kind of comes to the last energies of the day, it's no longer it's no longer releasing, and it's no longer letting go. It's now activating. It's okay, we've let things go. So right before we get to the crystal wizard, which is tomorrow, we're in the electric star. And so electric stars, let's bring some electricity into it, and let's bring some beauty into it. So we're like, okay, we've done all this. Maybe we're like, panting and out of breath. But what is one of those delicate, subtle beauties that we can kind of bring to bear? What is one of those arts that we have embodied that we can just kind of create that bond with, bring a little bit of that charge with? So we're like, okay, I'm getting equipped because this is the energy that's going to become the wizard. The proper sign tomorrow, the wizard, the crystal wizard, which will be that cooperation, that full coming together. Crystal days are always that full coming together of all the energies that we've experienced. And so the star is really the precursor before that, because we can continue seeing all of these aspects. And so, the hidden power today will actually be before tomorrow's main sign, which will be the whole day, obviously, but it will be directly before tomorrow's helping power. And so there's actually a spiral that's going on here. And if you can see this in your kind of mind's eye, that this isn't just one sundial circle that goes around one day. It keeps going to the next day and the next day and the next day, spiraling in this time spiral. And so there's even a continuosity within there. And even that is an art that just got activated. That's a part of that cosmic knowledge here. So yeah, come into that more delicate, embodied. The light of the star is not immaculate and bright like the sun, so it's easier to receive, and it's also not as intense. It's not as heavy maybe for the being that wishes to not just bask in that light, but bring that light. You can bring a lantern instead of having to bring the entire supernova with you and really just be in that space. All the space you created, the deaths that happen, the darkness that's there, represented by the Knight, the Skywalker, and the Roadbridger respectively, now begins to glow with a light, because the whatever was there, whether blockages or whether artifacts or whatever fears or whatever things that we didn't realize or whatever, that space is becoming freed up. And so now that star begins to shine through, begin to activate that light, that delicate, elegant light. Okay, stay tuned for the Mind Pyramid meditation.